Good evening. This is the 18 WJTS News. I'm Charlotte Olson. Police are investigating an officer-involved shooting in Vincennes, and the Indiana State Police say that the incident happened just before 9 p.m. on Tuesday night. Police responded to the Chuckles gas station on Old Decker Road on the south side of Vincennes. Indiana State Police say that officers were attempting to serve a felony warrant to a 35-year-old male at the time of the shooting. Sergeant Todd Ringel says that the suspect had been identified as David Zimmerman, 35, of Princeton. A felony parole warrant for manslaughter had been issued earlier this month out of Gibson County for Zimmerman. Tuesday evening, February 14th, Indiana State Police had received information that Zimmerman was possibly in the area of Chuckles, located at 1744 Old Decker Road, Vincennes. Approximately around 8:57 p.m. last night, troopers spotted Zimmerman's Dodge Ram pickup truck at Chuckles, and troopers in unmarked vehicles pulled in behind his truck. Zimmerman placed his vehicle in reverse and collided into the front of one of the unmarked vehicles. Troopers opened fire when Zimmerman reached for a weapon, and Zimmerman was taken to Good Samaritan Hospital in Vincennes, where he died from injuries. A search of the vehicle revealed a handgun, and the troopers were not injured. This is an ongoing investigation, and further information will be released as it becomes available. The Jasper Police Department searched for a man after a report of an altercation in the Memorial Hospital parking lot just before 8 p.m. last night. The Jasper Police were called to the parking lot of Memorial Hospital after a report that a physical altercation had occurred. Police then conducted a search for 23-year-old James Vasquez of Huntingburg. Vasquez was located walking southbound on 231 near the Super 8 motel. After an initial investigation, police arrested Vasquez, and he was lodged into the Dubois County Security Center and was charged with a level 6 felony of domestic battery in the presence of a minor. The town of Huntingburg held their bi-monthly meeting at the town hall last night, and on the agenda was the council voting to support an agreement for a down payment assistance program. Mayor Denny Spinner explains much more in depth what this program is all about.
The council this evening approved an agreement for Huntingburg to be our participant in the multi-city housing program project that is a program that's offered through Freddie Mac as a lender for down payment assistance. It's a low-cost way to have homeowners who meet certain criteria get down payment assistance and additional assistance in making that home purchase. Huntingburg is the first in the state of Indiana to be a part of this program. We're partnering with George K. Baum out of Indianapolis in providing this program, and it's really an opportunity for us to focus on some of the properties in our community that are in the price range of between $75,000 to $100,000 that homeowners wishing to sell those homes might have an opportunity to find more buyers in that particular range and allow them to keep the housing stock here in the community in private hands. So I think there's a lot of advantages to this, and I think that we're looking forward to working with our local lending institutions who will be participants in this and really find additional markets for lending and for buyers of homes in our community.
The program was presented by Trish Whitcomb, a representative for George K. Baum, the investment banking firm. Spinner highlights why the program is important for the city of Huntingburg.
We were approached by George K. Baum, the administrator of this program across the country. They are working out of Indianapolis office in seeking cities to be a participant in this. There are other cities. Fort Wayne is in the consideration at this point, but the city of Huntingburg was the first to come on board. This will be for homes in the city of Huntingburg will be the ones that would qualify for this. So it's a way to increase interest in home buying and home purchasing within our city.
Work is scheduled to begin this spring on the railroad overpass project with a completion date of September 2018. Mayor Spinner gave a quick update on this project.
The overpass project, bids were received last week on the overpass project here in Huntingburg. The bid came in at $5,880,000, which was about $1 million below the engineer's estimate. So we approved the signing of an agreement today to have NDOT proceed with negotiations with the firm that has the low bid. Should those negotiations prove to be successful, we have a timeline of beginning construction on the overpass in the spring of this year and expected completion date in September of 2018. So a very significant move. The project has been bid. It's been bid under cost and should be a project that moves full speed ahead here in the next 18 months.
The Huntingburg Town Council will meet again during its regularly scheduled meeting set for February the 28th at 7 p.m. at City Hall located on East 4th Street. Old National Bank will be holding another 100 Men Who Cook event on Saturday, February the 18th at the Egyptian Room at Old National Center in Indianapolis. Proceeds from the event will benefit the Center for Leadership Development in Indianapolis. 100 Men Who Cook is a unique community fundraising event hosted and also sponsored by Old National Bank. This is an event where local celebrity chefs prepare their favorite recipes for guests to sample and to enjoy. Back in September, the Jasper region hosted the 100 Men Who Cook event and raised over $240,000 for the Du Bois County Leukemia Association and Scott Rowland's E5 Foundation. This is the first 100 Men Who Cook fundraiser hosted in Indianapolis. However, Old National Bank has raised more than $4 million in other markets throughout its footprint. Old National is the largest financial service holding company headquartered in Indiana and with $8.1 billion in assets ranks among the top 100 banking companies in the United States. The Du Bois County Visitor Center and Tourism Commission is accepting applications for grants from the Tourism Promotion Fund. Grant applications are now open to non-for-profit tourism-related organizations, festivals, events, attractions, and also others, which will increase visitor attendance from outside the immediate area. Approved applications for projects or events that have previously been funded may receive new grant money if additional tourism benefit can be proven. Special consideration will be given to organizations establishing first-time events, and to request an application, call the Du Bois County Visitor Center at 812-482-9115. Completed applications must be received no later than March the 1st, 2017 to be considered for funding. The artwork of students from throughout Du Bois County will once again be featured at the Kremp Gallery during Youth Art Month. March is Youth Art Month in Indiana and also nationally. The Art Education Association of Indiana and the National Education Association have chosen March as a time to recognize and celebrate the creativity and artistic talents of our children. Art organizations and art educators are asked to come together to help local communities to highlight art education this month. In the spirit, the Jasper Community Arts will be hosting the annual Youth Art Exhibit from March the 1st until March the 30th, 2017 in the Kremp Gallery at the Jasper Arts Center. This year's exhibit will be showcasing artwork by area high school and elementary school students. Participating in the displays are Southridge High School, Jasper High School, Forest Park High School, and Northeast Du Bois High School. The second half of March will feature the local elementary schools, which include Celestine Elementary, Du Bois Elementary, Pine Ridge Elementary, Ferdinand Elementary, Holy Trinity Elementary, and 10th Street Elementary. The high school exhibit will be on display from March the 1st through the 13th with a public reception on Sunday, March the 5th from 12 to 2. And the elementary school exhibit will be on display from March 15th until March 30th with a public reception happening on March the 19th from 12 to 2. The Kremp Gallery is open Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. until 5 p.m., Thursdays 8:30 a.m. until 7 p.m., and Sundays noon to 3. The Jasper Community Arts Commission is a department of the City of Jasper and receives funding from the Friends of the Arts, the Indiana Arts Commission, and also funding from the National Endowment for the Arts. On Monday, U.S. Senator Todd Young met with President Donald Trump's nominee for the U.S. Supreme Court Judge Neil Gorsuch. Young shared his thoughts on how this meeting went overall.
So just visited with Judge Neil Gorsuch, and I expected him to be incredibly impressive, but his command of the law, his rigor of interpreting the Constitution and statutes was incredibly impressive to me. He consistently was able to cite cases and the logic of those cases as to why he decided decisions the way he did. He cited his mentors. Justice White was certainly one of his heroes, and Justice Scalia made a great impression on him in terms of how he decides cases. And perhaps most importantly, from my standpoint, he understands the job of a judge is not to write laws, but instead to interpret them and apply them to the facts of any given case. So the judge clearly understood that this was a decision that I'm taking very seriously. In fact, he said, I know this is a very important decision to Hoosiers because so much is dependent upon who sits on the high court. Property rights, our rights of contract, our religious liberty, our rights of free speech and assembly, all the rights that make our lives possible, allow us to pursue the American dream, are at stake. And he doesn't believe it's the job of a judge to override the decisions of we the people through their elected representatives to come up with the rules we live by.
During the approximately 45-minute meeting, the two men discussed the importance of this decision to Hoosiers. Senator Young and Judge Gorsuch shared the sentiment that it is not the job of the judge to override the decisions of the we the people, but through their elected representatives to come up with the rules that we live by. Additionally, Judge Gorsuch reinforced his strongly held belief that the job of a judge is not to write laws, but instead to interpret them and apply them to the facts of any given case. And make sure you keep it right here, because up next we'll take a look at your weather summary.